What's up?
What up, though?
On the first try this time. Okay, we're improving.
We got it.
We are improving. Here we are.
Here we are. Today I'm actually drinking an energy drink. That's where I'm at today.
EVL. We will wait for some people. Just vibing to Shark Anthony here.
Yeah, if you guys go on our website, that's who you're gonna see, dog. Sorry, don't mind me. Hi, Jenna! What up? We are just vibing here. Thank you. Yeah, we got the laser beams going on.
Freaking laser beams.
Yeah, got the whole setup here with all the paintings and canvases that we talked about on the first live. So all these are available on the website, Society 6. We got home decor. We got the liquid drop tonight. This is the liquid set.
Liquid drop made in collaboration with Day Job Online.
Day Job Online. Got our good
Shout
friend-
out Charlie.
Shout out Charlie.
Shout out Yasko.
Shout out Yasko. What's up?
The designer of the Get the Message shirts.
I know we're not supposed to have favorites,
it just
but
feels right for 2020. The fuck you just feels so right for 2020,
it
man.
really does, and it's subtle, but it's there, you know, and that's just how we live it. Like, you can wear it anywhere, and I've worn it to places I probably shouldn't have.
Yeah, you can turn it.
Because it's not like you can really
I really like this. I try to grip with the flow of the body. Miss you too, man. That's why we're doing these, to like get together with people we haven't seen
It's so true.
all year, man. That's why we love doing these.
It's like
to
hanging
connect,
out with
you know?
everyone again, like that we haven't been able to.
It's a Friday night. We're hanging out, friends and
Exactly.
family.
All we
Thank you
gotta
for
do-
tuning in.
Oh, thank you. I know I need a. If anyone wants to join, feel welcome to send the request. We'll hang out. We'll talk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to my sister out in San Francisco. Finally not burning.
I gotta point that out every single time.
Yeah, she's the one that did this painting here. It's the only one that wasn't made by me. This one here.
It's awesome.
Shout out Mandy. Thank you.
But seriously, like, I know I shouldn't be choosing favorites, and I love all the designs, but this one is just so cool. And my favorite is the yoga mat. Like, I use it every single time I go to the gym, and that one's available on Society 6, and I'm obsessed with it. But everything is like super stretchy. This is like an athletic shirt, and it's really breathable. And then the leggings are super stretchy. You guys already know. I love the high neck, the contrast stitching. It's really, really comfy. It's awesome. Hey, Charlie.
Day Job Online.
There he is. We're just
What's
talking about his
up?
design right now. Look
Thank
at
you.
this.
Yes.
It's like super like
Design come to life, so I multiplied it. So it comes from an originally drawing, and then I multiplied to make the design. And if you look at this, this top part is in about 5 different pieces. So you have to design the back, and then you have to know where it's attached right here. So when it's laid out completely flat, and you have to know where these connections are and how they look. In the back, it attaches here to the front, so it's all a different piece. You have the left arm, you have the right arm. This is 2 pieces. The leggings are 2 pieces, a lot, and it connects here in the front, and it's getting all of these lined up perfectly. So you have the left leg, right leg, but the top part's a bit more advanced. It's kind of like the dress, which
Yeah.
dresses are coming soon.
it's really a whole art. Like, even just creating the design itself and then putting these pieces together, it really is. And yep, we got the whole thing here. Can't really see the full mode, but we got it.
Women's clothing is just so much more fun to design. Like, I've done shirts, like I did this shirt. Men's clothing is pretty basic on a certain level. Like, this to me is just so much fun
Yeah.
as a designer.
I do think this would look cool on a men's shirt too as well, though. Like, we could definitely do like
Yeah.
way more with this. It's super cool.
But the
So we
focus
got it
was
right
the
here.
woman in this. The woman was the focus in
Yes,
these designs.
hi.
What's
Everyone
up?
that's joining in, what's up? We're just talking about the liquid drop right now.
Liquid drop that's now available on Bleace.com.
Yep.
I don't know if you can read that back there. Bleace.com is now available.
Yep. If you guys go on the website, you'll hear Shark Anthony. That's our friend. He makes dope music.
That's
He's
who's
awesome.
playing right now.
Yep.
I wanted a vibe. So when you come to Bleace.com, it's a vibe. And his songs, they just fit perfectly with what I was going for.
Bleace and peace.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people are gonna make that correlation.
Yes. Which is why in the second book, I define Bleace. And now we have bookmarks, custom bookmarks now. I apologize to people who already ordered. They came later than when the book was printed. I apologize. But now we do have these bookmarks, Bleace.com.
If y'all want to come for us, feel free. We'll try to fix it.
So I try to dispel this rumor that Bleace is simply bliss and peace, because I hear that all the time. Oh, you just combined bliss and peace. No, that is not what I did when I came up with Bleace. So I dispel that in the second book. This is the first thing you read is the definition of what Bleace is. And I will give that again. I gave that in our first IG live stream. I'll give it again because I'm going to do another reading. So Bleace, noun, potential energy, stored inside the chemical makeup of every living creature in the universe, that, once recognized and harnessed, can be kinetically unleashed through passionately positive creative acts that do not directly or indirectly harm others, i.e., writing, photography, painting, directing, acting, designing, cooking, or being a flaneur. Example, after the boy learned how to harness his Bleace, he was able to unleash it through writing. That's the definition that I start off the book with.
Yep. So that way, any sort of doubt or anything that you guys were thinking of, like
there's
where,
no
where did that come
confusion
from?
on that. So okay, I'm gonna get into the live reading here. If you don't mind, I'm gonna turn it a little bit.
Go for it.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna start out with the 2-sentence. Hey, what's up, Courtney? Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. I'm about to do the live reading now. I would normally be doing this in a bookstore, which I had planned, okay? I had planned to do this in a bookstore, but 2020, I have to adjust. So, thank you for all joining. Here we go. On the free-floating planet of Consumptia, where the currency is flesh and everyone is high on Zerk, Orby is at the breaking point. Will he succumb to the madness around him or rise above his environment to follow his Bleace? Reality, what is it? Living and dreams, what is in between? Come on in, let's all see. Gather around, let's all breathe. Surpass normality, living in our own universe, in a foreign being's eye, we may not be fit. This is my Bleace, exposed for the first time. I hope it's ready. Are you? Chapter 16, Bick. After his altercation with the Kong, Orby was dragged down into the basement of Lockheed. Welcome to the hole, the Lockheed guard said as he slammed Orby against the stone wall. After the steel door shut, the only light he saw was far above him, where food would drop down twice in XY. It was slop that ended up all over the floor. There was a hole used for excrement that he eventually found crawling on his hands and knees after already wetting himself once. Eyes, open or shut, it didn't matter. No differentiation between wakefulness and sleep. There was no sense of time. In the hole, his mind played tricks on him. Brightly colored objects floated in and out of his peripheral vision. They were the only things that kept him company. Down in a hole, forgotten, that is where you have gotten yourself. Skriller sat in the corner, legs and hands bound. The cell door opened. The cloaked being entered with his head down, face not visible to Orby. That is enough. The cloaked being sung in a strange electronic voice. Let me out, Skriller roared. Yet again, you have bound yourself here. It is all in your mind. Realize this, and you will set yourself free. Lies! The cloaked being turned around and closed the door behind him. I can still get you. Skriller worked his way towards Orby. Orby saw something move across his one good eye. The view of Skriller was gone. In the blackness, Orby couldn't make out the object in front of his face. I will eat you alive, Skriller whispered as he sank his teeth into Orby's cheek. There was a sharp bite on his face, followed by the flow of blood. A deep breath. He recognized that smell. A rat. Orby flinched, blinking a few times, and Skriller disappeared. The rat's tail hung over Orby's eye while it gnawed on the scab on his face from the fight. He tried to move his arms, but his joints were too stiff. A sharp pain in his stomach changed his perspective of the rat from a disgusting rodent to mouth-watering food. He pictured the rat searing over a fire, skewered on a stick. Orby sunk his teeth into the rat's sewage-matted fur. The rat squealed and bit Orby's cheek again. He clenched his teeth down harder until he felt the skin tear. Blood spewed into his mouth. The rat clawed at Orby's face, trying to escape. He took another bite. This time he heard the rodent's legs snap. Another squeal. The blood filled Orby's mouth, causing him to cough to clear his throat for air. The rat tried to scurry off, but Orby quickly rolled on his side, followed the smell, and caught the rat again with his teeth, this time around the neck. He bit down as hard as he could, snapping the rat's neck. Insatiable hunger drove Orby to devour the rat instantly. He couldn't remember the last time he had eaten. The nutrients revived him. His brain tingled. Memories bubbled up into his consciousness. Images of his mother and his sister Lila floated in front of him. Moments of pure joy, followed by moments of pure sadness. His stepfather telling him he couldn't sit next to his mother, of the fight that eventually led Orby to leave his mother forever. He wanted to go back when he, his mother, and his grandmother were all living together, before his mother met Mathos. Time doesn't work that way, the cloaked being said in his soft electronic voice. What did time in a place like this mean anyway? Orby thought, but didn't have the energy to say. If you died this XY, what would you leave behind? The cloaked being asked. Orby lay motionless, mind still tingling as his stomach acid digested the fresh kill. Your environment is sick, Orby. What have you done to make it better? Burn it all to the ground. Fire is as natural as the tree it feasts on, Skriller mocked. What did the rebels say that drove you to those books, Orby? The cloaked being asked. These questions, or the rat he ate, made Orby's insides twist and pull. Orby felt an unknown energy surging through his veins, pulsing through his mind. It was similar to what he felt when he first listened to the rebels speak, only much stronger now. His body felt as if someone was grabbing him. On his stomach, he screamed, but it was like someone else was doing the screaming. The scream turned into an electrified song, random soft music that started slow and then picked up in pace and intensity. After a few why of the music, it stopped. A bright green light shone from Orby's mouth. It lit up the entire room and was accompanied by a loud, ear-piercing noise. It was like a bomb went off inside of him. His mind and body split in two. His mouth opened so wide it looked like his jaw was about to snap. His throat heaved forward. The muscles jumped out of his mouth as if they were about to fall on the floor. Right when Orby thought he would die from this torture, a bright flash shot from his mouth. In the same instant, the cell exploded. He was now laying face first in the hallway outside of what was once his cell. The traumatic experience was over. He felt lighter, and his mind tingled once again. An entirely different creature, shed old skin to be born anew. Ride the snake, see the world through a second take. His sight was blurry as his eyes were still adjusting. At least the hall lights were dim and kind. He saw the cloaked being sitting against the wall a few feet away. Sorry, I just got an Amber Alert. He saw the cloaked being sitting against the wall a few feet away. Orby felt like he was dreaming again, not knowing if his eyes were open or closed after being in the hole for so long. As soon as Orby noticed him, the cloaked being raised his head, and for the first time in all of these XYZ, Orby saw his bright, elongated eyes that stretched along the length of his pale gray face. Random multicolored objects floated in his eyes and moved with the sound of his voice. Orby had never seen a being like him. He's not a Consumptian, a Miserian, a Kong, or a Slamverian. That's because I am a Bleacian. The cloaked being responded as he jumped over to Orby, laughing. He put his long gray hands on Orby's shoulder and held him down. "Get off me!" Orby shouted as he tried to push the cloaked being off, but to no avail. The cloaked being's hands maintained their grip. "I need you to listen. Don't just hear the vibration that I speak, but take the sponge that is your brain and soak this message up." "I don't need to listen to you. Let me go," Orby desperately cried. The cloaked being laughed loud, melodic sounds. "Please let me go. Being in a dark cell had been bad enough. If it weren't for me, you would still be in that box, dear boy. I have been listening to others all of my life. I am tired of it. Easy enough to give advice than it is to live one's own miserable life, isn't it?" Orby spat. "Misery is letting the fear of your true self have complete control of your life, making you into someone you're not. Just as you have been living all of these XYZ, making you an angry little boy." "Don't call me boy," Orby fumed, his skin steamed orange. "Like Skriller, you are afraid." The cloaked being laughed, intensifying the melodic sound. Like the climax of a song, the objects in his eyes swirled and danced. Yet the sound of a being called boy, Orby was far from being amused. "I'm not afraid of anything, not even death. Kill me if you want." The cloaked being stopped laughing now. The objects in his eyes disappeared. He leaned forward so their faces nearly touched and spoke in a soft, deep bass voice that made Orby's vocal cords shake. "I know you better than you know yourself, Orby." Orby saw himself, reflected back in the eyes now. The first time seeing his reflection since being at Lockheed. What have I become? Images of his childhood flooded his vision. His eyes, two endless wells that began to overflow. You do not know who you are. You have been too afraid to be unveiled. You have wandered around lost, lashing out at others, not loving anyone around you, as you have yet to love yourself. You have done nothing to leave something behind. You have been given this fickle, tormenting gift of life and haven't given anything in return, as you have not harnessed your Bleace. Bleace will help you control that wicked negative energy. Bleace will help you tame that wicked beast Skriller. Bleace is knowledge. Harnessing your Bleace will allow you to give life a gift that will live on after you make your final transformation. That's it.
So I saw some people joined in the middle of the reading. If you want to show them the book.
Yeah. So that was a reading, chapter 16 from the first book, Bleace. Didn't do a reading of the second. Oh, thank you.
Thanks.
I know it was a bit long. That was my long reading, Stumbled a little bit, but thank you for staying through the whole reading. I'm glad you appreciated it.
Yeah, the first time we did a live, we wanted to get through everything. It was crazy. It was fun though. We had a lot of fun with everyone. This time we really wanted to get to the important things of the book. And I remember when I was reading the first book, that part that he just read was what really got me. I was like, wow. Because there's a lot of shocking parts in the book that you're gonna be like, whoa, especially just now, about the rats and everything. And I know Stephen King goes in on that kind of stuff all the time, but like it gets to a point where you understand like what the message is. Like it might start off like super rough where you're just like, oh my gosh, like you do want to shock people, like, and I get that, like you want to cross those lines, and there's gonna be a lot of times where it's like shocking.
Everything has a purpose. Everything has a purpose. Like if I cross a line, it's for a purpose, and you may not know.
That's great writing and storytelling.
I appreciate that, man. So I cross lines, and you may not know why I cross certain lines until later on in the book. So I'll do something, and you're, why did you do that? It's not just to do it. It has a purpose, and I promise eventually in the first book, or even it transfers over into the sequel, a true sequel, some get answered that are left in the first book. It's like the second book, and I loved the feedback I was getting of how fast the pace is. You'll see how fast this book moves. This book really just takes off, and it feeds into the time part. So when I say all of these XYZs, that means years. It's a free-floating planet, so it's moving like this. It's not like us where we're revolving, but even us, we are moving in this Z plane. So it's the X, Y, and Z planes. And that's where I'm hinting at, and I mentioned in that reading of all of these Y, or after a certain amount of Y, that's seconds, minutes, it's all broken down into that. And that gets answered as well, because that was a big question after reading the first one. Because I just throw you into it. I don't really explain that. I just want you to experience all these different perspectives. So...
Well, what else would you say is different from the second book from the first book?
What is the main difference from the second book? So a lot has happened after the ending of the first book. I just leave you with Breezy, you know, and you're just wondering what is happening. And he's on. Yes. So I am making an audiobook, and it's going to be dedicated to my grandmother because she says I can't read anymore. So I am making an audiobook, which is a big project to undergo, a lot more than I thought it was going to. So I have to do the entire recording, and then I have to do all of the editing. And it is a process that I've promised her would get done. Yeah.
Scared my mom, scared me.
Yes. So the audiobook I am looking to get done before Christmas of at least the first book. I would like to get through both. It is a big process. It is doing that reading. Like you saw, if I stumble like that, I have to redo it, and then that has to get edited. And usually that's a whole production team. You're looking at the whole production team right here.
This is the whole production team.
This is the whole production team.
I'm basically like the helper, but like this guy is a one-man show here. Like everything that you see, like painted these, designed these, laid out the books, wrote them, self-published, like
yeah, I did
the website by himself.
Shout out to my editor Karen. She did help me edit these books. Both
Shout out
books.
to Karen.
Karen, I know she's going through it right now, having a name named Karen. Rough year for anyone named Karen. She's a great Karen. We love her. She helped on both books, gave me great insight, and would really question me and make me look at certain aspects. Hey, this doesn't make sense from this character, and really would make me go back and really, really put myself in there. Writing anything, you're living that. You're living each character, and the biggest difference I would say from the first book and the second book, not to give anything away, a lot of my characters die in the second book. And they are like, even the bad ones, when they go, it's hard. It's very hard. And when you write that, because these characters have been part of my life for 11 years now.
Step by step.
Yeah, man. These characters have been a part of my life for 11 years now. So when I have to kill them, story above all else, it's very hard. So it is like losing a child when you kill. So that was the biggest difference, I would say, between the first and second, because I develop a lot of the characters. It's a big introduction to the whole world, to the world of each character, and I really expand on that in this. And you see various perspectives in this second book.
Yeah, and I think with the second book, people will relate it to like our real world now, especially like the people in charge right now, and you know, and I think that's gonna be like another thing. But it is a whole other world though.
Yes.
But you will make those connections.
And it will be an animated film. An animated film. I can't do live action because everything is going to be animated. How we have this gallery wall. I want everything in this gallery wall to be moving and to have a life of its own. And that really, in my mind, how I've seen this the entire time, is animation. And so this will come to life as an animated film, and that will be the next step, is making the script for both of these and getting a team together. That's one thing I can't do by myself. I want this done right, and it needs a team in that step of animating and making all these characters. I'm very limited at hand drawing. That's why we're here with the hand drawing. Day job
Liquid
online. Charlie.
To the people who missed the beginning, this is the liquid drop.
This is the liquid drop.
And this is what's available on Bleace.com. If you go on the link in the bio, you will see it all. It's definitely amazing. Like every single
Happy
detail
Friday,
about it.
everyone. Cheers.
It is Friday.
Cheers.
You guys already know I'm about my energy drink over here. Usually
Drinking
I'm about
EVL.
to-
Shout out EVL. Big inspiration. Mike, big inspiration over there. Every book that I send out comes signed. I try to put a personal message. So I did this to really reach out to people, and I want to inspire. And that's why I read chapter 16, is what did you leave behind? And I think that's so important right now of what we are facing.
What's up, Greg?
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Buffalo. He's doing great things out in Buffalo. We mentioned it.
Gotta
I have
shout
to
out
mention it again.
Buffalo.
Buffalo. What you're doing out there in Buffalo is just awesome, awesome, awesome. Cannot wait to check it out. Really cool Buffalo intern project.
What, left turn?
Left turn. I'm so sorry. Left turn. Happy Friday, Bleacians. Yes. And he's got the picture of JJ.
Yep, I love
We
that.
do have a special guest. We will have a special guest. He is downstairs.
We always need to bring Ranger on the live because we know some people are just here.
People
for Ranger.
demand Ranger.
Yeah.
He is a following. We've taken him to Boston. He took over the whole city of Boston. I mean, if 100 people pet him, that's probably undervaluing
All
how
I'm
many
gonna
people.
say is, if you have pets, trust me, we got you soon.
Yes.
We are gonna get pet stuff.
We
and
are
it's gonna
going to
be
get pet
awesome.
stuff. Yes. Ranger's already tried out certain pet stuff. We will be having pet stuff.
There's also kids stuff. I know we haven't shown it a lot on the Instagram, but there's a lot of kids clothes and all like the little alien drawings and everything. So we have that on the site as well. I don't know if you guys have seen the other thing that we have. That's the FU.
Yes, the FU shirt. Shout out Yasko for drawing that.
It's
That
so
was
awesome.
another hand drawing, scanned, colored different ways. You'll see it different ways on the site.
Yeah, all of Yasko's drawings are just amazing. He can just sit down, like, play Scrabble.
We're playing
like,
Scrabble, and the guy's just sitting there drawing,
making masterpieces over here.
making
They're
masterpieces.
so good. So
While most of
good.
the time kicking my ass in Scrabble. No, we went back and forth. We go back and forth. That's one of my favorite games all time. I have an affinity of words. I've had this for years. I love words. Scrabble just enables that, and I can really play.
Do not play this guy in Words with Friends. Do not, unless you're literally trying to get destroyed.
Yeah.
I learned my lesson there.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of words that I don't know that he'll just like write down and have a list of like all these words that I never know.
So I'm constantly reading, and every book you read, you will come across a word you do not know. I promise that. Of all the books I read, as much as I write, I'm reading. Because you have to be constantly reading for material. Consciously, unconsciously, you have to be reading for that and to feel that as a writer.
Yeah, and when you're moving, it's a lot of fun because you got 10 huge boxes with books, and every single mover looks at this guy like, "Are you serious?"
2-letter word, yeah.
Oh my gosh. This
Yeah,
guy.
I have all the 2- and 3-letter words memorized. I can play speed Scrabble as well. I have all of those memorized. quite a few 7-letter words memorized as well. We used to have this whole dictionary. We would write everything down. And new words we would write down that we can use for Scrabble. I have a whole list on my Bleace notes, which I was using there to do the reading. I use that a lot. Anything I hear, see, whatever, I'm writing a word down. So
Yeah.
I think we have to get the special guest in here.
Oh man, all right. I
Let's
wish
go get him worked up.
he could like come up here, but
He can't make the stairs. All right, we are gonna take you to the special guest. Thank you guys for joining. This is awesome. We're gonna take you downstairs. There's levels to this. There are levels to this.
Yeah, hi, it's getting crazy.
He can't make these stairs. They're a little too steep. Is it too soon for spooky season?
frickin'
We don't
bats.
think so.
Freaking bats.
We got freaking bats. We got freaking bats.
Look everyone, it's freaking bats.
Ranger.
There.
Ranger. What's up?
When I tell you that he like gets
There's
so
Ranger.
hyped up,
There he is.
hyped up. Nope, he doesn't want to give a show for IG ever.
Never.
He does for us though.
Ranger, come here. There he is. There he is. There he is. There's Ranger.
He's so funny.
We will be having. There you can get a look. Oh, where's the yoga
Let me
mat?
see. My closet. Alright guys, look at the spooky season. We actually just kind of getting started here. We always go way crazier. We got the freaking bats. Got some pumpkins. And this is the yoga mat. There we go. It's kind of dark down here, but
We can take it upstairs.
so this is the whole look. Like honestly, I could wear this to the gym. Super comfy. Get my sneakers. I bring my yoga mat to the gym. There we go. And this is it. This is on Society 6. So if you go to society6.com/Bleace, there's so many home decor items there. This is one of them. This is a yoga mat. Now he wants to get crazy. Well, we want to say thank you to everyone for joining us tonight. We love doing these lives. It's like hanging out with our friends. It's so much fun.
That we can't hang out with.
That we actually can't hang out with. And not only because we're far, but because this year is trying times. And we want to make sure that, we can stay as positive for everyone as we can and, raise the spirits and
Good vibes. We're trying to give good vibes and recognize the situation.
Yeah.
Yes.
basically the
Thank
way I
you
see
guys.
it is if you turn your darkness into vibrance, you can help other people do the same, whether it's through art or, just everyday like things that you can do. Even if you, have a full-time job like everyone else, any little thing that you can do once or twice a week to like raise your vibrations. That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
We want to help everyone.
I mean, I take it to the extreme of every day. I have it tattooed on me. Before I can truly rest in peace, I must express every piece of my soul. That is what I give into everything that I do, all of the art. It is leaving something behind and it's lifting up. And I feel like we need this now more than ever to really harness the arts. It's getting defunded in schools. We need to address this. If we want to talk about defunding the police, how about we can call a psychologist to come and help the situation? Because that is where we are really struggling is mentally. And that is where Bleace aims. And that's why I cross lines is to psychologically help people. I want to jar you. I want something to just hit you. And it's like, oh, I have a different perspective now. And I want that to really approach those kids before they go shoot up a school. It just breaks my heart. And then we demonize them. It's their environment. It's a little sick. And that's why I read chapter 16 tonight. Your environment is sick, Orby. What are you going to do about it? What have you done to improve it? What have you done right now in this moment to improve this environment? We are all products of it. We share everything. We need to embrace that and make it in the most positive way we can. And I am going to do everything I can in this time to make it better tomorrow than it was yesterday. Okay? Are you with me? Let's do this.
Come on, it's a collective effort, you know, like as much as like we want to do, like we want everyone to put in, you know, their effort in order to make this like a better place, like just a little bit, you know.
A little bit, just a little. That's all you need. Just a little bit.
Let's just make it through this year first, you know. Let's try to get through this, get through all this stuff that's going on, and see what happens, you know. After November, we'll see what goes down. And we're hoping for the best. And thank you everyone so much for joining us again. It was a lot of fun. And we did it earlier this time, you know, so you guys weren't...
It wasn't midnight. It wasn't midnight. We did 9 o'clock. So
Yep.
Thank you for tuning in. And we'll be in touch. And we're going to do this again.
It was so much fun.
Have
Bye.
a good one.